Welcome to This Week in Wisconsin Prep Hockey. This is your guest host for this week, Trasher. We have a lot of stuff going on, taking over for MJ, who's on a special assignment this week. And we're going to start out with Burglar doing the Girls Game of the Week. Burglar, tell us a little bit about what you saw this week.
Well, we jumped right into action with the Game of the Week featuring the Wisconsin Valley Union at the Central Wisconsin Storm. Game played at Greenheck Fieldhouse. I talked to Dan Bauer a little bit before the game, because Wisconsin Valley Union had a pretty strong season last year. I asked him how they looked this year, and he mentioned that they lost a lot from last year and would have a lot of holes to fill from this year, and he wasn't quite sure that they were, ready to take on a team like the Storm already at this point in the season, and that they would have to rely on Pistol Cowden, their goaltender, quite a bit in order to keep this game close. And she did. The Union did a real nice job in the first period of, keeping Central Wisconsin away from her. The puck was in the Union end of the ice most of the period, but they limited the Storm to 8 shots that actually got through to Cowden, and only one of them went in actually very early in within the first minute of the period. But the Union only managed to get 1 shot on Central Wisconsin in that period. Then in the second period, got a longer change to get to your bench. Goals on the other end of the ice. Central Wisconsin was able to keep the puck in the zone for longer periods of time, put 20 shots on goal in that second period, scoring on one of them. Third period, again, put 13 shots on goal, scored on one. Wisconsin Valley Union, with about a little over 3.5 minutes left, down 3-0. They did pull their goalie. It took 8 seconds for them to score with that extra skater on the ice, but that's all the scoring that there would be, and the Storm ended up 3-1 winner in that game. And I think Dell is going to tell us about the girls' player of the week.
Thanks.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. One more thing. They did pass out, the rosters, and I meant to cover this too. Wisconsin Valley Union, I don't know if you can say they started out as the Point Rapids Red Raiders, or did they start out as Marshfield, or did they start out as Wapaka Co-op? But anyway, they got a bunch of teams now, and I noticed on their roster, Mr. Trasher, there is nobody from Wisconsin Rapids on the team this year.
Yep, that doesn't surprise me. The youth program in the Rapids vicinity, not too many girls there anymore, so the feeder program from them up to the Wisconsin Valley Union is kind of be slightly limited. So
what do they have for a feeder program? Are they still with Stevens Point as the Stars, or what do they do?
Honestly, I don't know. I think the last time that I heard, there was a connection between the Rapids and Wapaka and Point, and I honestly don't know what is going on with them anymore. I do know that from the time that my daughter had played, it had dropped off from like 3 players in Rapids to like 1 player in Rapids, and then no players in Rapids. So I don't know. It's kind of a sad situation, but it's nice that the Valley Union has a couple co-ops or a couple feeder programs to draw from, and to make it all happen. And we'll see what happens with them this year.
Well, they also only have 3 from Marshfield, and just a few years ago, Marshfield had their own team. So what's happening to girls hockey down there. It's not growing.
No, exactly. It's not growing at all, and it's a sad situation. For whatever reason, the numbers are really dying off, and I, you know, it's like I can say from my experience in Rapids that the paper mills, kind of the death of the paper mills has been the death of the hockey program. I know, like many years ago when my son played in the late '90s, early 2000s, Rapids had three bantam teams. Three bantam teams. Now they're co-oping with Marshfield to form one team. So, you know, look at it as you may. Whatever reasons there are, it seems to be like I don't know if it's just the central Wisconsin area or in Wisconsin or whatever, but it seems to be dying off a little bit, and it's kind of disconcerting, really. It's sad, We'd like to see our programs grow, but it doesn't seem like it's happening that way, Burglar.
Okay, I thought maybe you had some secret insight there because, the numbers seem to be down there. Anyway, back to Dell. Sorry to interrupt you, Dell, or give you the false start or whatever, but go ahead with the player of the week.
Thanks, Burglar. Our girls' player of the week comes from Chippewa Falls, Menominee, and is a forward, Sydney Polzine. On November 27th, she had 1 goal, 2 assists, and a 3-2 win over Superior. Then on November 30th, she had 1 goal and a 4-1 win over Lakeland. And then this past Saturday, December 1st, she had 4 goals and a 7-3 win over Northland Pines. So our player of the week for the girls is Sydney Polzine from the Chippewa Falls Menominee Co-op. And with that, we'll toss it back over to Burglar for the boys' game of the week.
And this is going to sound like a bit of a repeat, but University School in Wausau West, same sort of coaching philosophy there, where University School spent most of the first period in the Wausau West zone, but only managed to come out of that actually being outshot 10-5 in that first period, because much like the aforementioned Wisconsin Valley Union, the Wausau West Warriors did a very good job of keeping University School away from their goaltender, Nick Honor. Not a whole lot of shots got through. Actually, the best scoring opportunities came from Wausau West in that first period. A couple of breakaway opportunities that were stoned by Frank Fee. Scoring in the second period, though, it was kind of back and forth. West would score, University School would answer. West scored again, University School answered. West I thought they had one of those killer type goals when they scored just 2.1 seconds left at the end of the second period. It looked like we were going to end the second period in a tie, but a harmless-looking wrist shot from the blue line kind of through traffic. Fee never saw it until it went over his shoulder into the net, and it seemed kind of crushing. A couple of the U School guys actually collapsed onto the ice. I think they may have been responsible for a turnover or something, but those things can kind of kill the attitude that you have going into the locker room. But they came back out, and University School scored 3 times in the last couple of minutes of the game. They tied it, went ahead, and then got an empty netter in that game to take the win. And a couple of observations from the game. There's a full write-up in a score sheet on the website. But a couple of things worth noting. One, for Wausau West, Cade Lemmer is a beast. He's listed at 5'9" and 190 pounds, and he's just a wrecking ball out there. I mean, he's got he's got skills. I mean, he's a good player, but he just goes through people. He's fast. He'll go through you. He'll go around you. whatever. And apparently he likes to talk out there on the ice too, which kind of gets the other team a little bit riled up, so they take some extra shots at him, and he draws penalties but doesn't get the penalties. So just kind of a all service type player out there. I mean, he's got skills, he's got size, he can hit you, he can go around you, he can get you pissed off. Just kind of, he's a fun player to watch out there on the ice. And for university school, Tyler Herzberg, he's a sniper, and seems to have very good hockey sense. He always goes to where the puck is going to be. The puck finds him, however you want to say it. The mad scramble in front of the net, and all of a sudden, the puck squirts out behind the net, and who's over there on the side calling for it? It's Herzberg. Give me the puck, I'll just put it in this empty net. Always seems to be in the right place at the right time, and whatever he shoots at, he hits. He had 4 goals in this game, the last one being empty net goal with, I think there was like 0.7 seconds left in the clock. Just him and a Wausau West player, racing for the puck as it's going down the ice, and he put everything, he just gave everything he had and lunged and just swatted at that puck. Just to knock it into the net for that empty net goal. Just a good player. Those two guys are fun to watch. And I know it's early in the season. University school didn't look quite as crisp on their line changes and some of their organizational type stuff. There was one point where they were on a power play and only had 3 guys on the ice. And nobody, immediately jumping over the boards to, add that 4th and 5th skater out there. So, a little bit of cleaning up to do on the, line changes and that kind of stuff. But, Herzberg, great player. Cade Lemmer, fun to watch. It was a very good game, very fast, a lot of action, a lot of hitting. Very worthy of our game of the week. A good choice for that game. And Dell, you're going to surprise us now with our player of the week. Thanks,
Burglar. The boys' player of the week actually played in that game of the week that Burglar was just talking about, and it comes from USM. Tyler Herzberg is our boys' player of the week on November 30th in a game against DC Everest. He had 2 goals and 2 assists in a 7-1 win. And then in the game that Burglar was just talking about, he had 4 goals in the 5-3 win over Wausau West. And our boys' player of the week is Tyler Herzberg of USM. And with that, we're going to toss it over to Webb Jr. for the top 10s.
Well, thank you, Del. Top 5 for the boys are University School, Verona, Notre Dame Academy, Superior, and Spash. 6 through 10 are Hudson, Wausau West, Waukesha, Sun Prairie, and Nina Hortonville, Menasha. Honorable mention for the boys are Eau Claire Memorial, Fond du Lac Springs, Madison Edgewood, Northland Pines, and Onalaska. Top 5 for the girls are the Eau Claire area, Central Wisconsin Storm, the Warbird Beaver Dam Co-op, Western Wisconsin Stars, and Hudson. 6 through 10 are the Cap City Cougars, Fox City Stars, University School, St. Croix Valley Fusion, and a tie at 10th between the Bay Area Ice Bears and Rock County Fury. Honorable mention for the girls are the Hayward Co-op and Chippewa Falls Menominee. So if Eau Claire Altoona, the Western Wisconsin Stars, Hudson, St. Croix Valley Fusion, Hayward, and Chippewa Falls Menominee are all in the girls' top 10 and honorable mention, isn't that like the whole northwestern chunk of the state other than Superior?
Pretty much sounds like it. I know that Eau Claire area and Hudson and the Fusion are no big surprise, but Western Wisconsin, all of a sudden, I mean, they're 4-0. They knocked off Hudson. It's some pretty good hockey over in that northwest part of the state. So, I mean, who knows, right?
I mean, that's almost like the whole sectional. Chippewa Falls, Eau Claire, Hayward, Hudson, River Falls, Somerset, and Superior Northwestern. Which co-op is the Somerset? Is that Western Wisconsin?
Correct.
So yeah, other than Superior Northwestern, the entirety of girls section 1 is in the top 10 or an honorable mention.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Filthy McNasty for sure. All right.
And then the boys' side, trying to vote in the top 10. Well, Superior knocked off Hudson, but while Superior tied this 10, how many ties were there in the last week and a half? There are a lot of ties. You notice that? Like the tournament over at Eau Claire Memorial. Both the first round game technically ended up in a tie. Notre Dame had a couple of ties. Everybody had ties. Apparently you guys didn't notice that. Never mind, go ahead.
Do you think they should just keep...
No.
They should just keep playing until there's a winner?
Well, no, it's just unusual to have that many ties. I mean, you're trying to pick a top 10, and they're all equal. I mean, they all tied each other. They're equal. How do you pick one over the other? If they keep tying, they're equal.
All right. One further observation for the boys' side. We had mentioned Tyler Herzberg from USM playing a key part in the 5-3 win over Wausau West and becoming the player of the week for last week. Noted that he is also the state leader in goals scored with 12 and points with 21. So it's not like he just had one good game. He's been very good all year. So as a junior, this is a kid maybe that we need to look out for next year for a possible player of the year candidate. Good things for USM going with Tyler Herzberg.
Well, and I mean USM, I think they've played more games. Don't they have like 5 games in already?
I don't think you're allowed to say someone's been good all year when they've only played 5 games. I'm not disparaging Tyler Herzberg at all. He's been great for 5 games, but that's kind of a 15 games into the season kind of statement. But yes, they have played 5 games.
Yeah, and most other teams have not. So he's got an advantage of having more games under his belt. Which is not that he's not a good player. It's just you play more games than everybody else. Somebody on your team is going to have more goals. So yeah, a little early yet, but to be crowning him. But
fair enough. He's done a nice job.
I like the way he played. So yes, we'll keep an eye on him.
Yeah, awesome. All right, boys. Let's try game of the week for next week. We're gonna do on the boys' side Friday night. It'll be University School at Notre Dame, 8:00, and I'm going to wander over to the Cornerstone to cover that one.
That looks like number 1 versus number 3.
Yeah, that should be a really good game. Hopefully they'll play it on rank 1. We can get a good viewpoint. Otherwise, if it's on 3, have to climb up on the toolbox and risk life and limb getting pictures and game stories. For the girls' side, it'll be Fond du Lac, it'll be the Warbirds, Beaver Dam, Co-op at Onalaska on Friday. And Del, I believe you are going to be covering that one?
Yes, I'll be making a small little trip over to right there near the Mississippi to watch the Warbirds Beaver Dam Alliance take on the Onalaska Co-op Hilltoppers and the girls' game of the week. So that'd be an interesting one over there. Usually a nice spot to take some pictures from and see how everything comes up early in the season.
All right. So we'll be on the east side of the state for the boys' game and on the west side of the state for the girls' game. As always, be interesting, and we'll give you all the game summaries, pictures, results of that game on WIPH. All right, boys. We come down to the final nitty-gritty of the program, and literal nitty-gritty. MJ's not here. He kind of carries it a little smoother than the rest of us do. But do we have any final thoughts for the evening? I have one that I'll add, but any of you guys have anything going on that you might want to add?
Well, on tomorrow evening, I actually am going to go over and catch the Wanakee Warriors against the RWD Cheevers game. I get to do the announcing at it for Parents' Night already in the season. Just seemed a little early for Parents' Night, but get to watch that on the Reedsburg rink this Tuesday night and catch a couple teams that are starting out the year and battling for the Badger North Conference.
All right. Sounds like a good time. Good conference play early in the year. Yeah, it does seem like kind of early for Parents' Night, but just the way it fits into things should be interesting. Burglar, Junior, anything to add?
I think we need to set you up with a Skycam rig at Cornerstone. For anybody not familiar, Skycam is that camera when you're watching a football game that is on wires suspended over the playing field and kind of moves along with the action. We need to set you up with a Skycam rig at Cornerstone. Just suspend you over the middle of the arena with your camera and get some wires, and you can just follow the puck through the ice.
I thought it would give them a drone.
The only problem with that is I don't think it can handle 230 pounds. So I'd probably be splat on the ice. Wouldn't work.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I'll be fine. Just go for it.
Yes.
All right.
We're innovators in Wisconsin high school hockey coverage.
Yeah, that would be innovation for sure. No doubt about that. So some really good games this weekend then, or next week with U School and Notre Dame and Fondy, Warbirds, Beaver Dam at Onalaska. If that's it, you guys got anything else?
I may try to make it all the way over to Greenheck. They got the Marathon Cup starting, I believe, on Thursday. I usually like the Marathon Cup.
Burglar, we wouldn't want you to go too much out of your way.
Well, I mean, if it was being played at Marathon Park, I don't know if I'd go all the way down there to watch it, but since it's just over at Greenheck.
Greenheck, that's what, like 2 blocks away?
Well, a little farther than that, but not much.
Oh, okay. All right. My comment for the show is with scorekeeping and game stats, et cetera. We've had some problems and some issues with all of that. Basically, the way that we kind of would like things to happen would be for the home team to enter the stats for the games. Basically, take the score sheet and enter all the stats, the goals, assists, the penalties, the saves, et cetera, for both teams. Works pretty easy. If it's like a tournament game or something, the teams could decide who wants to do it. There's been some issues, and basically all we're trying to do is get stats for all teams because everybody wants to see what has been going on for their teams. Parents Parents like to see it. Kids like to see it. So get the stats entered. If you got problems, maybe talk to the other coach and maybe they'll enter them. Or if you have problems with the thing overall, just get in touch with us here at WIPH and we can help you out for sure. The most important thing is to try to get the stats accurately entered. So when you're looking at these numbers during the course of the year, everything's pretty accurate. And it works out best, everybody likes to see the numbers that are really, truly there, and so that's it, I guess.
Well, I can add to that. I mean, the official policy, if you will. The official policy is home team enters the score sheets, enters the information on the score sheets. If the home team hasn't done it within 24 hours after the game, the visiting team may go ahead and do it. But yeah, the home team has 24 hours to get the score, get the stats entered. If they don't do it, the visiting team, if they're able to do it, they can do it. If there is a disagreement or a discrepancy or, something's not entered properly and there's a dispute back and forth, the final arbiter is the actual score sheet. We may actually ask to see a copy of the score sheet. And that is what, but they didn't count this on there. This person had a second assist. Well, I'm sorry, the other team is disputing it, and it's not on the score sheet, so it don't count. Right? Right.
And we've never had that happen before.
No. We've never had to lock score sheets because the two different teams kept changing them back and forth.
Right.
Send us a copy of the score sheet. We're going to put it and we're going to lock it. Shh.
There's all kinds of crap this site does that I don't know about.
Well, now that you move back to the area, Junior, you'll get an idea of what's really going on here at WIPH.
Well, yeah, you couldn't lock it from Kansas. You basically had to be within Wisconsin to be able to lock it.
Well, now you're just full of crap.
I know it.
Well, he might be full of crap, but I'm laughing.
And then again, if there are any other discrepancies, send all your hate mail to Trasher at WisconsinPrepHockey.net.
That's not true. Don't send it to Trasher at No, it's not true. Send it to Trasher at WCTC.net. I will listen to all your email, and if it's debatable or it's, okay, it's cool, I'll respond. If it's not, I'll just throw it away and send it to spam and call it another day.
That's right.
So
Trasher will listen to all your email and he will read all your voicemails.
I will. That's exactly right. I've done that.
He does, because his Outlook will read his email to him and his phone will transcribe his voicemail to him.
That's right. That's exactly right, guys. All right.
I think we've done enough for one night.
So I failed miserably as guest host. Are we ready to call it a day or an evening?
Dell already hung up.
He already hung up?
No, Dell's still here.
All right. Well, thank you for putting up with us tonight. MJ's not here. He's not the usual voice. The face of WIPH is turning into the voice, and he's failed miserably. But we try to cover what we can, and hopefully you've enjoyed maybe our podcast. So tonight for Bill Sr., Bill Jr., Dell, and Trasher, we bid you a good night and have a great evening from WIPH.